What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Poor Man's Guide to Building a Food Truck. In today's video, we're going to be talking about something really exciting, which is Savage Tacos 2.0, which is going to be coming to you guys really soon. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and just go over some of the questions that you guys have been asking over the last couple months about our current truck and what our thoughts are on some of the stuff that you guys have been asking for us. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, guys, so firstly, I would like to apologize because it has been so long since we posted a video, and that's purely just because we have been so busy. Me and Lily have been working like 7 days a week, basically, since we opened the trailer back in, we opened officially at the end of May of 2024. So yeah, we just haven't really had any time to do anything else. So but we wanted to touch base with you guys first before we go into some of the really exciting stuff that we have coming up, like the new Savage Tacos 2.0. But before we get into that, we want to go through some of the like frequently asked questions that we've had over the last couple months, and kind of, you know, go through those real quick. A lot of them are pertaining to some of the stuff that's inside the trailer and how things are working out and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and dive into that. But I do want to thank you all so much for your support and your continued support. The questions are still rolling in, so I apologize that we haven't been able to get back to as many of you as we would like, but hopefully some of the questions that you guys have been asking will be answered in this video. So stay tuned and let's get right into it. So I kind of broke down some of the questions that have most frequently been asked and put them into just categories. Basically, there's 4 different categories I'm gonna look at, which is the cooking equipment, the windows, the paint job, and the 3-compartment sink. Those are the things that I get asked most frequently about. So we're gonna just kind of give you our experiences so far. So we have been in business since end of April, start of May of 2024, and it is now November 22nd, I believe. November 22nd. So, you know, we've had a few months under our belt and business really took off. So pretty much as soon as we opened, I had it in my mind that I was going to be happy to break even for the first few months while we got our name out, and, you know, we did some promo stuff, and, you know, I kind of said to Lily, you know, if we break even for, you know, first 6 months, first year even, that we would be happy with that. But it has not been like that at all. We've been really blessed, and it's taken off extremely fast, much faster than we thought it was going to. So let's go over some of those things then that have been frequently asked. And the first one is the cooking equipment. So we get asked a lot about our cooking equipment and its performance, how it's held up, because obviously you guys watching the videos may be looking at purchasing some of this equipment. I can tell you this equipment has functioned beautifully. We've had 0 issues with them. The only thing that I would change, it is my fault, it's not the equipment's fault, is the charbroiler. On the second truck, I'm not going to be putting a charbroiler in there. It's a beautiful piece of equipment, don't get me wrong, but I just don't use it enough. And I found that while in operation, I wish I had a bigger flat top. So this is a 24-inch flat top, 24-inch charbroiler. I wish that I had just put a bigger flat top in there to begin with, to be honest with you, just because I use the flat top for way more than I use the charbroiler. So bear that in mind if you're looking at this setup. If you're doing tacos specifically, tacos, burritos, stuff like that, where you put in the top, well, we put the tortillas on the flat top to, you know, warm them up and get them just a little bit of crisp on them before we serve them. I wish I had more space. So but apart from that, our hot plate down there, no issues at all, works beautifully, gets up to temperature. I know that they do make like thermostat versions of these where you can actually set it to a specific temperature. They cost a little bit more money, but those look really nice too, so that may be an option for some people that need specific temps. But in terms of the equipment, we've had 0 issues whatsoever. Same with the hood right above it, made by Viver. The filters, they actually are due for a clean right now because we had the truck out last night, so we got to clean this down. Works great. Actually, our fan, which was on the roof, our mushroom fan on the top, made by Ventilation Direct, it went out about a month ago. And the beautiful thing about building your own truck is you can pretty much figure out what's wrong with it yourself. So the fan wasn't working, so got up on the roof, flipped the switch that's up there, still wasn't working, and I took apart the actual fan switch, which is right here, and one of the wing nuts that was connecting it together, it was still It was still had electrical tape around it, but the wing nut had come loose, so the wires weren't connected together. That's all it was. Just put the wing nut back on, taped it back up, good to go. But apart from that, we've had 0 issues with the cooking equipment. Works great. If you guys are thinking about getting this equipment and are worried about the quality or the performance, you have nothing to worry about. This equipment has worked beautifully for us. So, next question. The second most frequently asked is about our windows. So we purchased 2 awning windows from Viver.com. You guys may remember in the videos that are before this, way back when we first put these windows in, the first one arrived damaged, and we were lucky enough to get a second one from Viver without having to pay. So we got both windows for the price of one. These windows have worked great as well. We've had 0 issues with them. We've had no leaks. You guys remember that we had to install the sliding glass windows as per Florida health regulation code. Again, same thing. We've had 0 issues with these 2 windows. These were both picked up from Lowe's, I believe. And there's a link in a previous video when we installed them, if you guys want to check those out. We've had 0 issues with these. The only issue that I have had to fix is the exterior lighting right here, which is attached with Velcro. The adhesive that attaches from the light itself to the sticker that's on the top of the window, just over time had come loose. So you can actually kind of see this one is just coming loose again. So right here you can see where it's kind of separated from here. About 2 months ago I had to put some extra adhesive on this one because it had completely come off. So that's just from going down the road, bouncing around. It's going to happen. So I just took some super glue, put it back up there, and it hasn't given me any problems since. I might have to do the same with this one. So, but yeah, to answer you guys' questions, if you're thinking about buying those awning windows from Viver.com or the sliding glass windows from Lowe's, our personal experience, we've had 0 issues with both of them. So would definitely recommend. The third question that we get asked a lot about is the paint job. And I can tell you, we've been taking this thing on the road, 3-4 times a week since May, and the paint job has held up great. The logo on the back here, which we finished up just before we took it on the road, has held up great. I'm gonna take you guys on the other side right here. You can see, I mean, when you get up real close, this, you can kind of see is starting to come away a little bit, but nothing crazy. It's held up really well. So if you guys want to check out our previous video on how we did the paint job and worried about the sustainability of it or the longevity of it, so far it's worked great for us. And we're in Florida, so it's rainy, it's snowy, it's thunderstorms. We had a couple of hurricanes this year, and the paint job has held up great. So would definitely recommend that too. And the fourth and final point that we're going to go over is the 3-compartment sink. I do get asked a lot of questions about this too, and I have to apologize for the mess. Again, we had this out last night, so there's gloves and there's towels and all sorts of stuff all over the place. But just for argument's sake, the 3-compartment sink for us works perfectly fine. I will say, if, depending on your menus, if you have bigger pots and pans than what we have, you can kind of see them up here. They're not that big. That's all we really use. That's all we clean. If you have bigger pots and pans, you will probably struggle with this sink because there's not much space in there. And you'll definitely need these 2 racks instead of going with just one. As you can see, we fill ours up every time we go to service. We fill these racks full. So, but like I said, if you're gonna have bigger pots and pans than what we have, you may want to think about having a bigger sink in here. If I had the space, I would have put a bigger one in there, but I was obviously restricted, so didn't really have much of a choice. This is the best one that I could find that would fit into this area on my food truck. Same with the hand sink, works perfectly fine. Had 0 issues with either one of them. But again, depends on your menu, depends what equipment you're going to be using here in the truck. You may want to think about getting one that has bigger basins if you're going to be using bigger pots and pans. But in terms of performance, in terms of leaks and stuff like that, we've had zero problems. So all good on that front. And I would definitely recommend, if you're running a taco truck or something, I don't know, a burger van, or hot dogs and stuff like that, stuff that you don't really need too much large equipment for, this sink is perfectly great. Okay, so let's get into what you guys are really here for, which is some of the info on Savage Tacos 2.0. This is our 1982 Chevy P30 step van or utility van, and we picked this up about 2 months ago. We're very, very blessed to have been put in a position that we can purchase a second truck already for the business. And some of the biggest questions you guys are gonna want, okay, how much did you pay for it? How many miles are on it? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So just some of the bullet points. We paid $5,200 for this van. The mileage is exempt, so we don't really know how many miles are on it. The previous owner ballparked around 200,000, but who knows? The engine is not the original engine. It has a Cummins engine in it, and the transmission has been swapped at some point. The rear end has been swapped at some point, but the van is in great condition. There's zero rust on it. For a 1982, it is in incredible shape. So we picked it up on Facebook Marketplace. The previous owner had several of these vans and just didn't have a use for this one, so we picked it up for a really, really good deal. You can see they kind of customized some of the headlights. They got LEDs on the front, LEDs on the back, and the van in general is just in really, really good shape. The bodywork is in good shape. It's had a paint job not too long ago, but like I said, there's no rust, no real damage. It does have a front windshield that needs to be replaced, but nothing crazy. So so yeah guys, 5,200 bucks. We picked this thing up. If you guys go on Facebook Marketplace, you'll probably see a lot of these vans go for a lot more than that. We just, again, we're very, very lucky. We did a lot of research. We looked for a long time. So do your research and you can pick up great deals like this one. So let's hop on inside and go through some of the details. All right, let's just take you guys on a really quick tour of the soon-to-be Savage Tacos 2.0. It's a 1982, so everything in here is really, really simple. It is a manual transmission, like I said, or stick shift. Really simple on these older vehicles because there's no real electrical components to them that's gonna make things complicated. It's just very, very simple. Gas pedal, brake pedal, clutch, Cummins engine, reliable. And there's a couple things that we do need to fix on it. The speedometer doesn't work. The fuel gauge doesn't work. So those are things that we're gonna have to fix, obviously. So when we take this thing on the road, that we can make sure it doesn't run out of gas and we know how fast we're going. So, so yeah, as you can see, the cab area, once again, for a 1982, is really not in bad shape at all. And I'll just take you guys through the rest of the van. You have to excuse, my son is currently using this as toy storage, so excuse that. But the actual frame of the van is in really, really good shape. So once again, do your due diligence. If you're looking at getting a step van like this to convert it into a food truck, make sure you do your research. And if you have a mechanic that you can take with you, or you have a friend that's mechanically inclined, take them with you to do the once over on it before you purchase. And this is going to be Savage Tacos 2.0. So we're already thinking about the floor plan for this one and how we're gonna do it. One thing that I didn't mention when we were over there at the other Savage Tacos is the fridge. So I don't get asked this question, but it's something that I have found whilst being on the truck. The fridge is great. There's nothing wrong with the fridge at all. It performs great, no issues at all, especially in the Florida heat. It works really, really, really well. However, we were not anticipating to be as busy as we have been since launching. So we sell out of food quite frequently, especially when we go to like our bigger clients and our bigger events. And it's kind of frustrating because you're mobile, you can only carry so much food with you. So your fridge capacity plays a big role in how much money you can make. So when we sell out, we sell out. That's it. We can't make any more money. I would definitely recommend, if you guys are able to put a slightly bigger fridge in your food truck, or even the second fridge that you can just use for storage to keep additional meats, additional vegetables, etc. That would definitely help. And that is what we're going to be doing on Savage Tacos 2.0, is we will be putting a prep fridge in here as we have done in the previous van, in the previous truck, but we will be putting a second fridge in this unit to make sure that when we go to bigger events where we anticipate, more people, that we don't sell out. because it's really frustrating when you have a line of people, and this happened a lot of times actually. We did a Halloween event a couple of weeks ago at a university, and we had a line of maybe 50 people, and we sold out. And you know, those 50 people, that's, you know, as a business owner, that's money that is going begging. So if you're able to put additional refrigeration storage in your truck, it's definitely worth it. Even if you don't use it every day, when you go to bigger events, you have extra space. So I forgot to mention that bar over there. That's what we're going to be doing in Savage Tacos 2.0. But we're already thinking about the layout. We're thinking about having, like I said, having that bigger flat top in here. I'm thinking about pushing the cooking equipment further back. Oh, one other thing that's just going to my head too. AC. I get asked a lot about you know, temperature and stuff in here. I'm in Florida. It gets really hot. I mean really hot inside these food trucks. We have been running a second generator. We bought a second generator, a Predator 3500, that we run solely to run a portable AC unit. You need, if you're in Florida, you need something in these trucks. Fans are great, but after you have the cooking equipment going, when it's 100 degrees outside, literally 100 degrees, you need something. So right now we use a portable AC unit and run it off of a second generator. But when you're doing your layout, if you're in a warmer state, I would 100% recommend that you put some AC in here, because yeah, it's brutal. It can be really tough, especially in Florida. So if you're able to put an AC unit into your truck, I would 100% recommend it. We are going to be putting an AC unit in this one, because I may not be operating this one as much as Savage Tacos 1.0. So whoever is in here, the employees or whoever is working in this truck, I want to make sure that we don't have, you know, any heat strokes, or we don't have anybody passing out. You do not want that while you're operating a business. So we'll be putting some sort of mini split or something. I haven't worked it out yet, but we'll be putting some form of air conditioning in this van. Yeah, some of the other layout is going to be fairly similar to the other truck. We're going to put 2 windows in this one, just like we do in the other one. We're going to be putting the prep fridge just like we do. There's a few things we need to work out, but those videos are going to be coming later down the line, and we will be documenting the build just like we did with our first truck. So yeah, that's about all we have really for today's video. Like I said, stay tuned, because I promise we will be posting more videos in the future, and you guys can see those coming up really soon. So let's go ahead and wrap it up. All right, that just about does it for today's video, guys. Once again, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and we will be seeing you really soon when we begin Savage Tacos 2.0. So until next time, guys, thanks for watching.